to talk about whether or not you are walking in the direction of your dreams. I know how easy it is to say that you want something, you want to be something, you want to have something. You can also maybe be one of those people who can really activate that vision within you. However, on a day-to-day basis, are you walking in that direction? Now, I know that most of the bros on the internet talk about going for it. Like, the language is very aggressive. Going for it, smashing it, fire, going all in, do all of these things unless you're not serious. I was rock bottom and now I'm a 7-figure business owner. Like, that is the way that we see progress and we see success. And for most of us, we are going for our dreams, but we are also doing so many things. I had to, even though I thought I had this part of parenting locked in, I had to remind my daughter once again how unavailable I was because I was on the toilet this morning and I couldn't do anything. And I have this kind of rule with both of them that unless somebody is really hurt or injured, like I can't converse in a conversation. And so I have realized that when we talk about our hopes, our dreams, our big visions, everything that we want, we need a different way. We cannot continually get up at 5 and work an 18-hour day. We can't work from our mum's basement and do nothing else apart from our dreams. And I joke with my mum about this because my mum's not on social media, but she does have a basement. And I always say, like, some of these bros are working in their mum's basement. And she's like, well, you can't work in my basement because the only way to get to it is like down through my bathroom. And like the thought of nobody being able to go in her bathroom and it's like, oh, it's because your 44-year-old daughter is working in the dark down there. It just doesn't work. And so what I want to encourage you to do today is to work with what you have and not with what you don't. Because when I see the bros advice on the internet, or even these people who are, women who have children who do all of these things, but yet they're kind of somehow, and I don't know how they're still managing to work 100-hour week. And there's part of me that wants to be like, you do you, whatever you want to do. But I think that is really, really difficult unless you have a lot of support and unless something has got to give. That has been my experience anyway. But what we can do is make little and often steps in the direction of where we want to go. Another thing I need to say is that is not always easy. It's not easy logistically, it's not easy financially, it's not easy mentally, hormonally, time-wise, working it in with your hours. People just say these things of like, just go for your dreams. And it's like, yeah, I will. And I've got to pay the gas bill. And I've got to pay for my mortgage. And somebody else needs another pair of shoes. Like, there's all of these things as well. So it's not an either or. And I think that what we need to do is assess whether or basically how we can sit on the spectrum of growth. There are some parts of my month, of my year, of my like a season of life where I feel unstoppable. I'm just like, my mind feels so clear, my vision is great, the kids seem to be like in a lovely flow with school, they've got a great teacher, the sun is shining, like etc, etc. And when I've got energy, I can do things in 3 hours that on the opposite end of the spectrum could take me 3 weeks. I could be procrastinating and overthinking and feeling anxious about all of these things. And therefore, we have to make plans accordingly. So what I tend to encourage my clients, and maybe you want to take this away today with as well, is how can you stay on the spectrum? There are going to be some days where you're like, I'm an 8, 9, 10 out of 10, off we go, this feels great moments. But what I'm always suggesting with my clients is, How can you support the 1 out of 10 version, the 2 out of 10 version, the tired, exhausted, oh my goodness, this is so difficult, I've lost a bit of confidence today, I didn't sleep well last night. How can you support that version of you? Because sometimes what can happen is people create these amazing visions and these amazing plans, and yet they are setting themselves up for the version of themselves that is going to feel 10 out of 10. And previously to that, they may have only been feeling like their 3 or 4 out of 10 version of themselves. And so I think that these little steps in the right direction cannot be underestimated. And I had this moment last night where I had booked something, I really wanted to go, I'd been before, it was in support of my dreams, and yet all day yesterday I was making excuses in my head. Because it felt out of my comfort zone, right? It felt like maybe something I wasn't in the mood for that night. It felt great 2 weeks ago when I booked it, but on the day I was like, I'm a bit tired, I didn't sleep brilliantly last night, it's going to take me an hour and a half to get there, it's going to take me an hour and a half to get back, and then, you know, etc. What if I'm not good today? What if I embarrass myself? You know, we can say all of these things. And so what I did in that moment was, is you taking action? Is you going to this thing that you booked, that you said that you wanted, in support of your dreams or not? Yes, it is. Are you, by going, doing it? Yes. What happens if you don't go? Nothing. I stay at home. I don't do it. And essentially I move further away. So what do you want to do? And that was honestly the conversation that I had last night. I allowed my imperfect, tired, exhausted, bit gnarly, overhot ginger self to do it. And to take a step forward. And do you know what happened when I did it? When I showed up for myself? Not only this version of myself today, but that future self that will be looking at all of this evidence, seeing how I banked all of this stuff. You did it. You took the action. You did this, and then this followed, etc. That is when I know that I can lean on that. And sometimes it's about those little steps. Taking the steps in the direction of your dreams and going for it. And there was always this interesting moment that I used to have with my son. He used to go football training once a week. And in the winter, oh my God, like standing on that touchline, there's this picture of me that I sent to my mum. And my mum was like, where are you? And honestly, I looked like I'd gone to the North Pole. I was frozen. And so to go, yeah, this is amazing, in deepest, darkest November. Wow, it's a thing. Anyway, my son is one of these chatty people. You know, this was great. What did you think of this? I thought I was going to have hiccups, and I haven't. You know, how did I play tonight? You know, he loves to have a chat about all these things. And sometimes when I'm not the one to take him, he will say things such as, yeah, it was all right. It wasn't great. Like I didn't really score any goals tonight, or I just didn't feel like very energized. And I will have the same conversation with him. Did you show up? Yes. Did you go? Yes. Did you give what you could in the moment? Yes. That's enough. That little step, that little cue to yourself, your brain, now and in your future is enough. Great, just keep walking. Do not play in to the big extremes of the bros, that it's this or it's that. No, we don't want to be in the dabbling energy. We want to be in the purposeful, walking promptly across, straight ahead, forward, in the vision of our dreams, in the direction of that. Sometimes that means you're going to be able to go really fast. And sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you are going to be so humbled of how slow that you're going. But you're going to have a lot of compassion for yourself in that moment. because your ego wants to go, no, let's go. And we've all had that moment in the gym, you know, when you turn on the treadmill and you're like, okay, I'm warming up. And then you start turning it up really high. And then you're like, okay, I'm running. And then you're like, oh my goodness, I can't breathe. And suddenly you're pressing that stop button so you can really go back to walking, because you can't sustain it. Actually being in that middle spot is a good place to be, because what you end up doing is building slowly but surely. You build the muscle, you build the rep. Your brain, your body, it recognizes it. It doesn't go into that fight or flight mode of like, oh, what's happening? What's going on? You can find that ease, and then you can build on it. Then you can really see that muscle capacity. I'm not talking about your sports now, but like that sense of like, oh, I think I could do a little bit more today. Or the most beautiful thing is that thing that I used to find hard kind of feels easy today. Feels really good. Finally, I'm going to leave you here. I would love you to recognize what you're doing. Have a look. What are you doing? We can all talk a good talk. We can say all the things. But what is going on? What are you doing? What do you see in your diary? How are you spending your time? How are you thinking about things? Are you spending all your time saying, it's not enough, or I haven't done enough, or I feel really bad about this? Are you consuming in that way? Or are you going, oh, I did that thing actually last week and I gave myself 0 credit for that. Why is that? Okay, I'm not going to do that anymore because it actually took a lot to do that thing and I did it anyway. So that is really, really key here. I would love to know from you. What are you going to take away today? What are you going to do differently? Not what you say you're going to do or what you're going to write down. What are you going to put into motion, into action? Finally, if you are interested in studying yourself for the next 30 days, come and join the 30 times 30 club. It's under 20 quid at the moment. It's ridiculous. If you add the word 17 in at checkout, you get this for £17. It is 30 days of 1 email, 1 video, and 1 exercise. No matter what is going on, the summer, the kids, sports day, the thing that you should have remembered but you didn't, like your routine is a little bit out of whack, whatever it might be, you know that for that 30 minutes or less, you are doing something in the direction of you creating the life that you want. Not waiting until it's a full moon, not waiting until January the 1st, not waiting until things get easier or quiet or you've got more time, energy, whatever. It starts now, and it starts with you. Emma Green's book. But yeah, we'll start with yourself, it's called. I really, really believe in that motion. I also realized last night when I was trying to get out the door, everybody seemed to need something from me. And there is always that juxtaposition for me as a parent of like giving my children what they want and need, not always like materialistically, but emotionally, and doing something for myself. And sometimes it can be really difficult just to do that thing because usually they are used to me being around at dinner time. So it's a bit like, oh, what's happening? What's going on? So I want you to think about how you can make moves today. I would love to know, as always, if you want to join the 30 times 30 club, go to nickyraby.com/30 and add that word 17 at checkout and you can save yourself £10. It's great. Lots of love. See you later. Bye.